Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Friday is the day that I'm filming this vlog, but wherever it finds you, I'm sending you all the beautiful, abundant, sunshine-filled energy because it's a beautiful sunshine day here in Austin. I started the work day with a mastermind call with a mastermind that I'm a part of, and I just feel such beautiful overflowing energy. I'm about to do a Pilates workout. I like to get this in at least once a day if I can. Some kind of movement, whether it's Pilates or yoga. I'm going to show you this workout, and then I'm going for lunch with one of my friends, Jonna. Jonna and I actually met in Bali, and it's super cool that she's in Austin. So I'm going to introduce you to her, show you guys our lunch, and then I'm going to talk about adult friendships and making friends as an adult. I feel like there's no better way than to also show you that this is one of my adult friendships that I made while living in Bali, and now we're both in Texas. So let's enjoy. Lunch with Jonna was great. It was so nice to catch up because the last time that I saw her was in Bali, which was so wild. And Casa de Luz, where we visited in Austin, definitely had Bali vibes, so it was really cool to connect there. And Jonna actually gifted me with her book. This is a physical copy of a book that she wrote. Jonna actually was in my Write Your Story course, and this is the product of that course, which I'm so happy and grateful to be holding a copy of it in my hand and to have witnessed her journey in self-expression and bringing this beautiful gift to the world. The book is called Making Space to Breathe, a personal journey and guidebook to clear karmic patterns of emotionally abusive cycles and heal from a narcissistic partnership. So I'm so proud of you, Jonna, and everyone. I'll be leaving Jonna's book down below if that's something that feels like it's calling to you. For those of you who do get the book, there's an entry from me in the back there. So I'm so happy and grateful to have been a part of bringing this gift into the world. So the theme of this vlog is how to make friends as an adult. So I'm so happy to speak into this topic because it's something that I've experienced in many different chapters of my life, especially uprooting and moving to different places. So what I've found first, as with all things, start with an intention. If you find yourself situated in a place, or you know that you're about to move, or you're just ready to meet new people in your life and you feel like you have space for that energetically, I would say start with an intention. Set the intention of I'm ready to meet a new best friend, or I'm ready to meet a soul family member, or I'm ready to just increase the time spent in my social life. So with that intention too, start to get clear on what would that look like for you. Are you looking for a friend to go out with for coffee every week or two? Are you looking for that new best friend, like soul sister? Whatever it is, start to get really clear on what it is that you truly desire in connection with another, and start to imagine what would that feel like. What would that feel like to just be able to message my friend and be like, hey, let's grab dinner, let's have some girl time. Start to imagine and become familiar with what that reality would look like, because the fastest way that we manifest is building familiarity in our subconscious mind. So even if that person isn't in our life yet, if we can start to become familiar of what that would feel like, or the excitement of it, we're already bringing that closer into our reality. We're collapsing waves into particles, if you will, if I may use some Dr. Joe lingo there, and you can begin to create that for yourself. Now, I'm thinking back to when I first moved to Canggu in Bali. And when I first landed in Bali, I had a couple of friends there who were from actually Vancouver Island, from BC, British Columbia. So I was hanging out with them for my first couple of months in Bali as I got grounded and situated. They ended up leaving the island. So I was left in this new city that I had just moved to without knowing anyone. So there were a couple of things that I did that actually led me to meet the people who are still some of my best friends today. So what I did was I decided to think about what is the type of lifestyle that I want to have here, what I want to start doing. So I joined a gym and I started to take classes, and I actually hired a personal trainer who became one of my closest friends on Bali. And I started to take surf lessons, and I decided to do evening beach walks. What was interesting was, like, in this time of intention setting and starting to put myself out there a little bit more, one of my best friends, Grayson, actually reached out to me on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, I found you on YouTube and it looks like we arrived in Bali at the same time, like, would love to connect." So ended up meeting up with Grayson for a beach walk and totally knew this was somebody that I could gel with. And what I'll say is, if you do meet those people, if you do decide to go out for coffee or do a beach walk or do a walk together, something like that, and you really feel like, oh, there's potential for a connection here, make the effort to meet up with them again, or make additional plans, or send them a text message. Starting new friendships is kind of like dating in ways, I feel like, because we have to start to move out of our comfort zone and start to invite people into our life and see if there's an energetic alignment there, if there's a fit for it. Another example of how I met one of my closest friends on Bali was just doing what I love to do. So I'm a combo practitioner, and someone had reached out for a combo, one of my very first clients, and I learned a bit more about her. Of course, in the session, everything remains completely confidential, but I learned more about her, and I felt, you know, there are some connections. We actually seem to be doing the same things in this city that we're in. And funny enough, I ended up seeing her a couple days later after her treatment at a kirtan event in Bali. And then I introduced Grayson to her, and then there just sort of started to develop this connection, followed each other on Instagram and kept up to date. Then a friendship just naturally formed. So pay attention to if there's anyone that you're drawn to. And what I would say is that if you do feel like, hey, I would love to grab a coffee with that person, or I feel like we could have a great, brilliant conversation just based on what our interests are, take that next step. Like, add the person on social media if they're not already there, and ask them if they would like to go out for a coffee. Again, sometimes it feels like, oh, this might feel uncomfortable to do something like that, but whenever we stretch and expand our comfort zones, amazing things come from that, because we realize it's not that scary. And who knows, you could possibly be feeling like, oh, I want to connect with that person. They could be feeling the same thing about you, and then you can connect, and then a beautiful friendship can blossom and form. After, of course, there's that initial efforting, creating different friend dates with each other, it just starts to become more natural. And what I would say is that keeping in communication, especially at the beginning of friendships, is very important. So I know that some of my best friends, we can go like a couple months without hopping on the phone or like sending voice notes, and then all of a sudden we're in like a flow where we're sending voice notes every day. I mentioned that in a previous vlog about one of my best friends, Jen, who I went for dinner with. So what I would say is, at the beginning, really nurture these new friendships, of course, and you'll notice that like over time it just starts to become very effortless. They're inviting you to things, you're inviting them to things. Of course, make sure that there is that equal energy exchange and that you feel really good in each other's company, and just start to cultivate even more gratitude for the connections that you have in your life, and thus you'll continue to deepen, nurture, expand them. So I hope this helped any of you. If you have any other additional questions, or if there's anything that you would like me to expand on, as always, leave it down below, because I would love to create another vlog answering your questions, providing you with any insights, any support that I can. And if you're watching this around the time when it comes out, I'm actually hosting a free masterclass called The Rich Life. It's a digital nomad masterclass. If you're curious about making money online, you can click the link down below, and if you can't make it live, I'll send you the replay. So I will see you all again very soon, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.